Jewelry aficionados, Elliot Rodriguez with Rodriguez and Sons Estate Jewelers here. I just read this magazine and I'm going to be talking about the article in here, 100 things every jewelry salesperson should know. I'm going to take 10 things that stood out to me and I'm going to break them down. And you don't have to be a jewelry salesperson to benefit from this. You could be a salesperson. You could just be a human being, because sales is every day. Whether I'm selling you a physical product or I'm just talking to you, having a conversation with you, I'm basically selling myself. Like, I'm interesting enough for you to be investing your time into listening to me. So without further ado, number one is avoid stale opening lines. So the opening is so important, people make assumptions on you within seconds. So what are some examples of stale opening lines? Are you looking for anything today? Anything in particular? I have used this line and 95% of the time I get, no, not really. So you're basically just being brushed off. Another one is, can I help you with something? It just sounds very salesperson-y. Is that a word? It is now. So what are some alternatives? What's great? What are you up to today? This is personal, but if you are genuinely interested in knowing, don't ask questions that you really don't give a shit about. It's gonna come off in your non-excited face. And people want to look at jewelry with exciting people. So I like to use what's great instead of what's new, because what's new isn't necessarily great. Just look at your news online. And what's great is going to trigger a positive response in the customer. And when the customer's happy, when they're thinking positive thoughts, they're way more likely to buy some jewelry. Okay, number two. Practice getting past brush offs. Here's a brush off. Hi, what brings you in today? Oh, I'm just looking. That's a brush off. That is a dead end. And what you want to do is practice brush offs. You want to turn these dead ends into potholes that you can maneuver around. So you can turn the brush off into you can affirm what the customer says. You can say, oh yeah, great. Look all you want. And what brought you in today? And even if they respond that they're just looking, which they're probably not going to, but even if they do, you are keeping the conversation going. You're maybe going to find out by keeping that conversation going, maybe they have a friend that's interested in jewelry, or maybe this person is going to be interested in buying something in a year. You're not going to know unless you keep the conversation going. Maybe you might know, but your chances of finding out go up exponentially by keeping the conversation going. So turn those brush offs into potholes to maneuver around. Okay, number three, talk emotions, not preferences or price. So instead of saying, she likes 14 karat yellow gold, so she'll like this. Okay, instead ask a question, put the customer in the future. Oh, how do you think she's going to react when she opens this box? Okay, so what you're doing is you're instigating is a negative word. You are sparking the customer to put themselves in that moment and live it. And it's probably going to be something positive. And they're feeling the positivity and they're going to want to duplicate that. They're more likely to want to duplicate that by buying the jewelry. And if they do not like the feeling that they're having when they're thinking about showing this box with jewelry in it, hopefully, to their significant other, then they're finding out much more quickly, okay, this isn't the piece, let's go to the next piece. So you're saving time by doing this, and you're also, you're allowing the customer to really think like what the person wants, and the emotions that they feel is a very powerful way to sell jewelry. Number four, share stories about the jewelry that you're selling. So I wrote this one on my whiteboard. This is very important. Dr. Jordan Peterson, he's quoted as saying, The winner at the end of the day will be the person who told the best story. People love stories. They love beginning, middle, and end. The brain loves that. It's why movie stars are some of the most famous people today. So just remember that the hook is the most important. Have a really interesting hook within the first 5-10 seconds. And also remember that the ending is going to stay in the customer's mind the most. Customers want to be whisked away to some faraway land from the safety of their couch or their favorite jewelry store. Number 5 is show your customers something ridiculously expensive just for fun. So this is good on many levels. You're creating an experience for the customer. Maybe they've always dreamed of wearing something like this. Let them live their dream. It's really not always about selling, even though this is subtly helping you sell. It's making a really fun experience, a very fun environment for the customer. And sometimes they buy the most expensive things. So booyah, baby. Not stopping. So number 6, respond to all online reviews, negative and positive. So this is similar to the first tip about being able to respond to any brush-offs. You want to be able to respond to anything. Sales is being a socially smart human being. And what's going to help you be a smart social human being is practicing. And a great way to practice is we're all watching YouTube. We're all on, social media. Respond and comment on things that you are watching. Work that muscle. If you're listening to podcasts while driving in a car, pause it every 5 minutes and just real quick, how do I feel about this? And you're going to get really good at being able to have something to say about everything. You don't have to say something about everything, but you will have a strong muscle. And the benefit of responding to reviews is that the customer is probably going to get a notification, further cementing you and your business in their mind. Number 7, okay, this might freak you guys out, but readily refer shoppers to your competitors for your products you can or don't provide. So it shows that you're knowledgeable and you're confident about giving your secrets away. So some of the most successful people I know, they give out their secrets freely. Look at a lot of the podcasters out there, very successful podcasters, authors. You think that they are so successful because they're keeping their brilliant perspective locked up away out of fear that other people are going to use it and get the better on them? No, they're giving out their secrets freely. Number 8, wear the jewelry you sell. If you don't love wearing it, how can you persuade the customer they will? Okay, so I'm sure there's many ways to sell jewelry to a customer just because you're not wearing it. I can sell diamond earrings to a store. I've never worn diamond earrings, but I can respect them. But the takeaway here is how powerful it is to be talking, doing, wearing what you're selling. The CEO who owns 70% of the stock of their company, Kanye West wearing his Kanyeezy shoe line everywhere. Their belief in the product is tangible and visible. And it's the same thing when you're wearing the jewelry that you're selling. Okay, number 9 is a very, very important one. And it is continually broaden your product knowledge. Keep learning things. Keep learning from new sources, learn from independent interviewers on YouTube. Get away from this big legacy media like CNN, constantly negative news. Learn about the latest gem discoveries, the latest mines, what jewelry houses won what awards. Okay, when I went to my sister's high school graduation, there were some people on stage. The 50-year-old said, okay, here's my advice to you. Do this in your life, do this in your life, do this, and read. Then there was a 60-year-old. They said, do this in your life, do this in your life, and read. There was a 70-year-old. Do this in your life and read. And the last person, who was 80 years old, they had one recommendation, and it was to read. The brain loves novelty. When the brain gets some new stimuli, it gets a hit of dopamine. So you're gonna stand out with your customers by doing this, having the latest. They're gonna want to come and just talk, and that's a good thing because the longer they stay in your store, they're more likely to buy something. And just be that person who can give them their dopamine hit with new information that you are learning about. Okay, number 10 is kind of funny. that we're ending on this note. Get manicured, okay? Use lotion. Cut your fingernails, please, okay? The customer is looking at your hands when you're putting the jewelry on, okay? When I go to the store, am I gonna take the product that has a stain on the cover? No, my immediate biological defensive reaction is to pick the product with the clean front. That's just natural reaction. So the customer doesn't want to look at your dirty hands. I'm not sorry. That's just the way the world works. So I actually have the luxury of having kind of modelish hands in the sense that the hair on my fingers is very light. But oh my God, when I'm cutting turmeric and ginger in the morning, okay, it looks yellow, it looks orange, it looks gross. It's not gross, really, it's just stained. But remember, this is just about our natural biological reaction. We immediately judge dirty with negative thoughts. So get manicure, lotion up. So that's the end of the video. I hope you got something rewarding, something that you can use, something practical with your customers. This was 100 things that every jewelry salesperson should know. I took 10 of them out that I thought were interesting and unique and that I was passionate about. And I hope you can go use this on your customers and give them a great customer-obsessed experience. This isn't just about jewelry. This is not just about sales. This is just about being a social human being.